I want to explain a little bit on Benghazi and how we got here. It's beginning to unfold exactly as we laid it out on this network within the first week. We were called conspiracy freaks. You're now seeing the testimony. We had several people leak information to us. You're now seeing some of these people begin to appear, or at least some of their words appear. Isn't that strange? Which one is the conspiracy freak? This is what you think is true about the United States. You think that we have this policy that says we are against terror. But the truth is, we're only against Al-Qaeda terrorists. That's it. Now, why is that? Well, because we've made a pact with Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is against Al-Qaeda too. Remember, these were Al-Qaeda guys that broke off and left Saudi Arabia. They want the kingdom to fall. But the Muslim Brotherhood is actually for Saudi Arabia. They're financed by Saudi Arabia. If you understand that Al-Qaeda is the Bloods and the Crips is the Muslim Brotherhood, you begin to understand it in American terms. And let me show you another way to look at it. Al-Qaeda is the weather underground, and the Muslim Brotherhood is SDS, or Acorn. Acorn. That's the difference. The Muslim Brotherhood has decided to be the Peace and Justice Party, Acorn. They're both radicals, but Al-Qaeda said we're going to blow them all up and kill them. Muslim Brotherhood said, no, we're going to infiltrate everything, and then we'll kill them. And we'll show you how they're doing that in Egypt tonight. Muslim Brotherhood, we've decided that SDS and Acorn, that's good. Al-Qaeda is bad, because that's what Saudi Arabia wants. Now let me show you how this bleeds in the Middle East and exactly what happened over with Benghazi. Remember, we supported the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt. We said that they were fine because, again, that's Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia's enemy is Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda is our enemy as well. So we helped the Muslim Brotherhood here, and it spread. In Libya, we were helping get rid of Gaddafi. Who attacked us? Many of the people that were attacking us, they were not Muslim Brotherhood, Al-Qaeda allies. Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda enemy, Al-Qaeda enemy, Al-Qaeda attacks us here. At a CIA safe house. Why? Why was it a safe house? Was it a safe house because we were running guns on a boat to Turkey into Syria, which the Saudi Arabians, all the New York Times has already verified all of this. Saudi Arabia said, support the Muslim Brotherhood in Syria. They're begging us to supply guns to Syria. So we did, on a boat to Turkey into Syria, which, coincidentally, CARE, which is Muslim Brotherhood. In Texas, the vice president, he goes over to Turkey in December and then to Syria, and he's running that operation. That's what it is. The entire operation originated from Benghazi. And there's only one person that was running the guns, and that's Ambassador Stevens. And he was giving the guns to the captain of a wildly reported Libyan ship carrying, I'm quoting, I believe, the New York Times, the largest consignment of weapons for Syria. Ambassador Stevens was the broker. The administration could not have this information out, especially right before an election. The publicity the story was getting was killing them. And the administration had to say they weren't providing material support for the rebels. They're hiding that fact because they knew the weapons were falling into the hands of not only extremists like the Muslim Brotherhood that they don't want to say they're doing anything with in Syria, and also Al-Qaeda and other groups. That's why they concocted this story about a YouTube video. The Truth of Gun Running program gone bad, resulting in the deaths of a U.S. ambassador and 3 other Americans. Obviously a little devastating. And so they lied. We, the American people, just kept saying, well, they're just trying to hide that Al-Qaeda is still going. No, no, no. No, they were hiding that they're running guns to the Muslim Brotherhood. And then they shielded the president because they knew when this thing came out, the president was going to be in real trouble. That's why at 5 o'clock, oh, I got sleepy. Remember? I went to bed after my 5 o'clock meeting. No, he didn't. Now, why doesn't anyone in the media care that Syrian rebels, who Obama is supporting, elected Ghassan Hittu into their interim government? Hittu came from Dallas, Texas, where he was a little-known businessman who had ties to the Muslim Brotherhood and Islamic groups such as CARE, where he was a vice president, and the Islamic Services Foundation. Why are we in bed again with the Muslim Brotherhood? Our relationship to Saudi Arabia, and that's where the Muslim Brotherhood comes from. We told you on The Blaze about the Saudi national being labeled a terrorist after being questioned after the Boston bombing, and everyone said it was a conspiracy, even though we showed you all the paperwork. It was a conspiracy because where did it go? Why didn't anybody cover it? Well, let me give you another story that you will read only on The Blaze. The DHS has opened an ongoing investigation into human trafficking at McLean, Virginia, in a location owned by the King of Saudi Arabia. This is an extraordinarily disturbing story that you will see in the next 20 minutes and on a special at 8 p.m. tonight about human trafficking on a new broadcast called For the Record. 8 p.m. tonight is a special. Nobody has been arrested. They picked up 2 girls that said that they were being used as sex slaves, and it was Saudi Arabia at an embassy in McLean, Virginia. But that story's not in the news, and nobody's been arrested. Why is that? Saudi Arabia. The Muslim Brotherhood, this administration has called them secular. They play dumb at every turn. When the radical Islamist Mohammed al-Bari was appointed to the Homeland Security Advisory Council, Janet Napolitano, Department of Homeland Security, said this.
Were you aware that he spoke at the big event in Texas honoring the Ayatollah Khomeini?
I'm not aware of all the places he has spoken.
The gentleman's time has expired.
If I could just have 15 seconds, this is critical. Secretary, were you aware that a week ago today, from his home computer, he accessed the SLIC database, got information off, and has been shopping a story to national media on Islamophobia directed at the governor of Texas and the security folks there in Texas? Were you aware of that?
No.
Thank you, Mr.
Yes, she was. She was aware. If she wasn't aware, she's incompetent and she should be fired. This whole Benghazi story is much deeper than just politics. It's all about ideology. We are getting into bed with evil, and tonight I'm going to show you the nature of that evil that this administration has befriended.